How to paint a vibrant sky with reflections in water. So hello and welcome back to Run My Arts watercolor tutorial series. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to show you how to paint a very vibrant and colorful looking sky with some reflection in water, as in lake or river. So usually my paintings are demonstrated on an A5 size paper, and this time I'm going to demonstrate it on an A4 size watercolor cold press paper. And I'm just showing you my recent sky and landscape tutorials, where you can find the link to the videos in the description. And I'll be using Hahnemuhl Britannia cold press 300 grams per square meter for this demonstration. And the frame size of the sky and the foreground is about 45 to 55 ratio, but if you want to make it equally 50-50, go ahead. And of course, in order to achieve a very soft brush strokes on this soft looking sky, we'll definitely have to paint this using the wet on wet technique. So as you can see here, I'm just pre-wetting the paper generously with some clean water. And as I've mentioned in all my tutorials, when you pre-wet the paper, you have to make sure you wet them evenly, and we do not want any blobs of water on certain part of the paper, otherwise it will distort the spread of the paint. And since this is a painting of a reflection, as in mirror represented by the lake, so you will have to maintain the same style or momentum as you paint both sides, the top and the bottom part of the paper. So the first color that I'm going to kickstart is Indian yellow with a hint of lemon yellow. You can right away use Indian yellow if you wish to. I'm just dropping in the wet paint, and just a note that your brush shouldn't be very soak wet when you pick up the paint. As long as it's damp and your paint mix is wet enough, that should do the trick. Otherwise the paint mix would be too much of water consistency and it may leave some marks on the pre-wet area. Now the second color is going to be bright red, as in cadmium red, with a hint of that Indian yellow, so you'll get an orange or amber like hue, and dropping in right after the Indian yellow. And as you paint, try to paint them, like I said, in a mirror like design or pattern, because the water is basically, the lake is basically reflecting the sky. So try to maintain a similarity between the top and the bottom part of your painting. It may not be exactly the same, as long as you could maintain some consistency on their appearances. Moving on to the third shade, which is magenta with a hint of permanent carmine or crimson. You can right away use magenta or crimson, it really doesn't matter. I just thought of making some variation in the color mixes. You always get some nice shade as you mix more than one color. So just painting that in, of course maintaining that same momentum of creating the reflections on both sides of the painting. And keep loading the paint mix if you think it should appear much darker. At this point of time I felt it should appear darker, and I'm also extending a bit of that magenta mix onto the middle part of the painting. So moving on, I've added some violet into the pink or magenta shade mix that I had earlier. So basically you're just recycling your color with an additional shade, new shade into it. I'm just painting that towards the outer corners and also extending it in between the sky painting. So basically I'm trying to create some cloud-like effects using the tip of my brush, round brush, which has a narrow tip. So, but do not forget, as you paint these cloud effects, you should mirror the same effect onto the bottom part of the painting as well. So I'm just showing you at a different angle how do I apply the brush strokes as I create the similarity between both sides of the painting. You can take some time as you create the particular cloud designs or pattern on your painting, but do not get carried away too much because the painting needs to be worked on a wet basis. So you will have to ensure that the paper is always wet as you work on it. And notice that there's a hint of magenta on the bottom part of the painting, so I'm trying to create the similarity by adding more magenta on the top left corner of the painting. As I said, it's a mirror effect, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same. A little bit of similarities, especially when it comes to that color reflection, that would do the trick. Otherwise, the details should not be too much of a hassle. So moving on to the final color palette, which is a mix of sapphire blue into that violet mix that I used earlier. As I said, I'm just using the concept of recycling the earlier paint mix that I've used by adding in additional colors into it. And once again, I'm painting using the same style, creating the reflection or mirror effect while the paper is still wet. So please make sure your paper is completely wet. Otherwise, you will end up with hard lines or hard edges. And also please take note that as I paint this blue shade mix, I am not completely covering that pink layer. I'm leaving spaces in between, and you can achieve this by using the tip of your paintbrush so that you do not cover the entire area. These brush strokes would create a cloud-like effect where it leaves gaps in between and revealing the lighter shade. You can paint them in a form of curves, especially the bottom half of the painting, since it is a water element, which is the lake. So it automatically creates an impression of water ripples. So we're almost done with this layer of painting, and before I leave this entire painting to dry, I'm going to clean up the masking tape where it has all those remaining paint residues. So always make sure you clean up the corners on the masking tape. So this is how the painting looks like once it's completely dry, and I'm quite happy about the outcome, so I'm not going to do any second layer of sky painting. And I'm going to move on to the next step, next level of painting, which is painting some details. And to kickstart, I have mixed some permanent green with sapphire so that I achieve a very dull looking deep green. So basically this paint mix has a very earthy appearance, which is similar to dull brown, where it represents color for silhouette, the darker part of an object, whereby it is against the light source, as in natural light or the sun. So obviously the landscape would appear much better if you paint in this shade. I wouldn't recommend painting using a black shade though, simply because it might be too much of a contrast and it may not appear natural. So painting something natural here with some vibrancy, you don't want black to come into the picture. So as you notice, I've used a clean damp brush to wash off the hard edges as I paint the landscape, because I don't want them to appear too harsh, because it is near the banks of the river or lake, and there's also a little bit of reflection in the water, though I haven't painted the actual reflection yet. So I'd like to maintain a soft look of the landscape, which is why I have brushed off the land painting with some clean damp brush, so you'll end up with a soft edge. And right now using the same paint mix and with some more addition or portion of deep green, so that it appears slightly greenish compared to the land painting, just randomly or casually painting the trees effect. So you can use the tip of the brush to create this effect of various shapes of trees. For the trees in the exact center or middle part of the painting, I've decided to use more of the burnt sienna because this area seemed to be the brightest on the painting, since is where the sunset looks the brightest. So obviously the silhouette effect or the objects appear slightly brighter compared to the ones at the corners, which are slightly further from the light source. As for smaller details, as in the tree trunks or other grasses or bushes, I'm just using my micro brush and the same paint mix as in Sapphire and deep green, or you can right away just use Sapphire alone to paint in these details. Don't have to worry about being so thorough about these details because this is just an expression of things that are further from our vision. So just small brush strokes would do the trick. Alright, time to paint the reflection of the landscape that we just painted, which is the mirror effect. And before we proceed to the mirror effect painting or the reflection, you will have to do this on a wet on wet technique. So I'm pre-wetting the bottom part of the painting or bottom half, where you don't have to pre-wet up to the end of the painting because it's just going to be half of the bottom half where it's going to be having the reflection effect. And once I've pre-wet, I'm quickly dropping in using a mixture of the Sapphire, since this is shadow casted during a golden sunset, so I foresee seeing a golden hint onto the shadow. Hence I decided to use the Sapphire instead of a typical grey paint, and painting the reflection of the bank or the landscape, the land area and the tree effect. And you would notice that as I paint, they look very soft, simply because we are painting it on a pre-wet area. So this is a sunset view, so definitely the light source is a bit mild, which is why I foresee the reflection to be very soft in nature instead of a very sharp looking shadow casted on the lake. In case you're painting a reflection representing a midday scenery, as in afternoon, probably the shadows casted in the lake could be sharper in nature, where you can see very sharp details of the tree trunks, the tree shape and so on. But this is a sunset and the light source is a bit mild and away from the landscape area and the lake, which is why a soft looking shadow would best fit this painting. And if you notice, I'm once again using my micro brush to help me fill in the details, tiny details of the trees and bushes reflected in the lake. So if you think the shadow needs to appear much darker, then go ahead, keep adding the Sapphire or dull brown shade onto the pre-wet areas, filling in the gaps in between the reflected shadow and the landscape area, the land area, by creating water ripples effect, once again using my micro brush. So I noticed that the land painting or river bank seemed to be appearing too light, so I thought of repainting it with the same paint mix. So if you notice that your painting has dried much lighter, especially the main landscape painting, then you can just repaint them using the same paint mix that you used earlier. So I thought a little impression of birds flying in the sky would complement this painting. So basically I'm using my script brush since it would result in very fine lines and tiny details. I'm using the same paint mix, which is the Saphir or burnt sienna, just lightly painting the impression of flying birds. Not forgetting a mild reflection of those flying birds into the lake as well. One final bird, probably slightly larger. And it's done. And peeling off masking tape from a completed painting is definitely a great feeling. So if you find this video enjoyable and helpful, then don't forget to hit the like and share button and subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't. Thank you for your support. I'll see you in another video. Bye.